the beginning of a new series. Often people speak about things and ask questions and answer those questions about many different things in life, like marriage, relationships, life in general, death, religion, and the rest of it. And often they say things which they agree with themselves, and they just say it to get views and things like this. And often they say things which maybe is true, but many people don't understand yet or don't want to understand. And many times they say things which aren't acceptable, but they choose to say it anyway because that's their opinion and maybe they need to be educated. And in between, that's many different um, ways of understanding. And I thought I'd answer some of those questions because I thought that maybe some people have answered it in ways I don't like, and I wanted to answer it in my own way, which, of course, many people won't agree with, and that's fine. I agree with some things and I don't, and I expect people to not always agree with what I say, and I might agree with something and you don't, and you agree with something that I don't, and it's fine as long as there's no racism, threats, malice, or things like that. And um, and just before I begin, this isn't for views or anything like that. Um, because if it was about views, I would have stopped YouTube a long time ago. And also, these videos, even if they did do well, I wouldn't um, try and make money off them. It's just my thoughts. One thing I do want to speak about is many people um, that speak about marriage, they often say that they want their wife or their husband to be someone who is a virgin and hasn't had any relationships either and is quote unquote pure, while they themselves are the opposite. They've had multiple relationships, they've engaged in sexual activity with one or multiple partners, and then they expect their partner to be the person who they marry to be quote unquote pure. And I feel that's double standard and is unacceptable and it shouldn't be expected. And I feel those people have a impairment, if you like, in their thinking because they want to quote unquote have fun before marriage and not think about their potential partner that they're going to marry. But at the same time, they expect the person that they're going to marry to be thinking about them and not doing anything similar. I feel this is unacceptable generally and certainly unacceptable in Islam, and nobody should be expecting that. And of course, that doesn't mean that if someone has done something in the past, that we should hold them against what they done in the past. We should be looking past mistakes and willing to accept people and hopefully they become better. However, that doesn't mean that it's a free ticket to do whatever you want before you get married and then later on you can just forget about it. And similarly, many people say that let's say you haven't had any relationships before marriage and you haven't had any sexual relations with anyone, and so you're quote unquote pure. and then you get married, and to this person that you're getting married to, you assume they're the same as you, and of course you don't know any different because you're not going to ask them those questions, and I don't think they're going to answer those type of questions. So you get married, and later on you realize that you find out, or they tell you, or some other way, that this individual that you married not only has been in multiple relationships in the past, but has engaged in sexual activity with multiple partners. This would destroy anyone. So in this scenario, I'd say I wouldn't want to know and I wouldn't want to ask, but if I was in this situation, then it would affect me deeply, but I don't know if I'd leave or what I'd do. But people should, in both scenarios, people should think about what they're doing in the present. That would not only affect them and their partner, potentially affect two families, potentially kids. They need to think about what they're doing now and how it could potentially affect them in the future.